we're back, and today we're going to be doing numbers 24, 23, and 22 of our Amazing Race winner rankings.
All right, let's get started.
Number 24, Dana and Matt. They won season 28 Internet Stars and 2 legs.
That's right. So they actually have the distinction of winning the first leg and the final leg, and they're the only team ever in TAR history to do that.
Yeah. But they did have some communication issues throughout the race, especially with Dana's kind of, from what the edit showed, Dana's kind of controlling attitude toward the race and toward what Matt should be doing.
Yeah, they did have some bickering throughout the course of the race. There were some times when they worked really well together, but other times when they just did not gel as much as you would hope for, especially in a team that eventually goes on to win.
Yeah. Their physical strength and alliance with fellow racers and Internet Stars, Tyler and Corey, helped them through the race a lot.
Yeah, and Tyler and Corey were really popular racers. They're really good racers, and so that connection, I think, really helped them sort of stay in the game and ultimately win it.
Yeah. The dance challenges throughout the race really helped them because they were dancers.
Right, they're famous for their internet dances, and so when the dance challenges or music challenges came up, they did not squander those opportunities, and in fact they usually did really well at them, and so they're able to take advantage of some of their own natural skills.
Yeah. They beat some, from what the edit showed, weird and annoying teams like Sherry and Cole, Bernie and Ashley, and Brody and Kurt, and helped Sherry and Cole not win because we weren't the hugest fans of Sherry and Cole.
Yeah, somehow Sherry and Cole managed to get into the final 2. It was kind of surprising because they didn't seem like they're that strong of racers. Mm-hmm. And some of the other teams they just didn't really wear well as the season went on. And it's kind of surprising since some of them were Internet Stars.
Yeah.
But it's a good thing then that Dana and Matt ultimately won that season, so they were at least somewhat worthy of the win.
So moving on to number 23, Amy and Maya. They won season 25 and 1 leg.
Okay, so this is one of those teams, a one-leg champion.
Yes.
We had a few of them in our last video. This is probably one of our favorite one-leg champion teams. Mm-hmm. Part of it because they come from Madison, Wisconsin, so they went to the University of Wisconsin like I did. So I'm wearing my Bucky Badger shirt in pride. But let's talk a little bit more about Amy and Maya, other than the fact that they went to the University of Wisconsin.
So they were the 3rd all-female team to win.
Woo!
And currently the last all-female team to win. So we're really hoping this new season we're going to get some great all-female teams and hopefully one will win.
Yeah, it's hard to believe that was the last all-women's team to win.
Yeah.
And yes, you're right. We are absolutely overdue for one.
Mm-hmm.
So we're really hoping that comes maybe in the very next season.
Mm-hmm. They got one on a limb, but it was kind of weird because it was a continue racing on the second to last leg. So they brought 4 teams to the finale and eliminated one like halfway through the leg.
Yeah, so it's kind of easy, I think, some people maybe criticize Amy and Maya for getting that big break right at the end, but it was really a twist that the game was doing, that they decided to take 4 teams to the finale instead of 3, and Amy and Maya benefited from that and then took advantage of that in the finale.
Yeah. They worked really well together, and they were very likable.
Absolutely. I mean, they were just fun to watch.
Yeah.
They just had great spirit. They were kind of underdogs much of the time. They were scrappy and entertaining. They had a great friendship, and they worked well together.
And kind of going off of that, Maya was very energetic, and that was really fun to watch throughout the race. And Amy did get a lot of injuries, but she still pushed through, which I was very impressed by.
Yeah, she came into the race with injuries. She got hurt more during the race, but she never gave up. And with the help of Maya, ended up pushing through all the way to the finish line.
Yeah. They were very underestimated by their fellow teams. Most of the other teams counted them out as not competition, so just take that, you guys, they won and you didn't.
Exactly. And even some of the teams called them candy shop workers, candy girls, dismissing the fact that these are actually scientists. Mm-hmm. Hashtag sweet scientists, but they are scientists nonetheless. And so I think they kind of fed off that dismissive attitude a little
Yeah.
bit too, especially when it got toward the end.
Yeah. They got lost a lot. That was one of their major mistakes that happened during the race, is that they were not very navigationally sound.
Yeah, and so probably if they would have been better at navigation and directions, they probably would have won more than one leg.
Yeah.
And they wouldn't be a one-leg champion. But yeah, they did have, that was sort of their main weakness, was directions.
They did beat some amazing teams though, like Misty and Jim, Adam and Bethany, Brooke and Robbie, and Kim and Allie, who were all very strong teams.
Yeah, so that's sort of the ultimate, I think, positive for them, is that, yeah, they only won one leg, but they survived against a real strong row of teams. I mean, some of those names, Misty and Jim, Adam and Bethany, Kim and Allie, I mean, those are sort of some all-time competitive teams there.
Yeah.
And to end up besting those teams, ultimately you just have to give them all the credit in the world.
Yeah.
And we're just big Amy and Maya fans.
Love you guys.
And frankly, and if they would have won more legs, we would have put them a lot higher, I think. And go Madison.
Moving on to number 22, Cody and Jessica. They won season 30 and 2 legs.
Yeah, Cody and Jessica, I don't know. They're a hard team to sort of think about, especially in that season, them beating all these other teams that were champions at one thing or another.
Yeah.
But they ultimately did. They won the 2 legs. They ultimately won the final leg. What else do we think about Cody and Jessica?
Well, Cody did 6 roadblocks and Jessica did 3, so it was not very evenly split there.
Right, and I'm not even sure how that's possible anymore.
Because the 6 roadblock rule is like people can do up to 6 roadblocks.
Okay, so Cody couldn't have done a 7th roadblock,
Yeah.
but they benefited from the fact that there were only 9 roadblocks, and so Jess only had to do 3.
Yeah.
Okay.
And there was a really good cast that season, so we were kind of surprised when a Big Brother team won, but they seemed to do really well in the race, even though they sit in the house. So.
Right, and they, I like the way you talk about the Big Brother teams. Yeah, and again, there's one of those teams that they kind of hung around, they did pretty well, they won the final leg and ended up winning the whole thing.
Yeah.
But they got a lucky break too.
They did get a lucky break when Henry from Henry and Evan didn't get the final challenge checked when he had it right, because he got less confident in himself and he changed something when he had it right. He just didn't get it checked.
Right, so Henry and Evan, who were another really strong team, came so close to winning the whole thing because they had it right before Cody and Jess had it right, but he didn't call for the check, and then he moved stuff around, and so kind of a tragic loss for that team because they were really good.
Yeah. Something good about Cody and Jessica, though, was that they were very supportive of each other, and they really helped each other through when one of them was upset or was not doing very well.
Yeah, they had a strong connection, and that really helped them throughout the race. They could lean on each other, and ultimately, at a few points, critical points in the race, that's kind of what got them through and kept them going to ultimately get to the end.
Yeah. They did beat some really good and strong teams, Henry and Evan, who we mentioned before, Christy and Jen, Alex and Connor, Lucas and Brittany, Eric and Daniel, and Trevor and Chris, who were all very strong teams.
Yeah, again, this is kind of like we were talking about with Amy and Maya. Cody and Jessica didn't win a whole lot of legs, but wow, they really stuck in there against a tough field of competitors and beat that field of competitors at the end. So you really have to tip your hat for that. All right.
So anyway,
where do
you guys,
we go next from here?
Yeah, so stay tuned for our next one and post what you thought about these in the comments. Say who we might be predicting next if you have any guesses.
So it's going to be numbers 21, 20, and 19 coming up.
Yes.
Let us know if you thought our numbers here were all out of whack.
If you thought one of them should be number 1.
Or if you thought that any of these should be placed in any other position, higher or lower, let us know.
Yes. Anyway, bye guys. See you next week. Love you.
Go Badgers.
Or Dana and Matt.
Dana and Matt. Go ahead. Continue.